So we'll begin with the webinar now. So good evening to all the panelists and attendees. I am Sakshi and I'm from U Tokyo webinar team and also an alumni of Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University. And today we are here for the Global Network Project for University of Tokyo India Office. This project aims to attract the students primarily from Southeast Asia to encourage them to pursue their higher studies in Japan. And this program is sponsored by MEXT, Japan's Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology. In today's webinar, we've been joined by a couple of renowned universities in Japan. Each of these universities will give a 20-minute presentation about their programs offered at undergraduate, graduate and doctoral levels, followed by a 5-minute Q&A. Students are free to ask questions in the Q&A box and not the chat box. So you may send in your questions anytime during the presentation, and we will collect these and address them during the Q&A session at the end of each presentation. So please make sure to submit those Q&A questions in our box, in the Q&A box. And we will also send in a questionnaire right now in the chat box, which will only take about 3 minutes. So I request all the participants to fill in the form. So we'll share the agenda slide. So Vaishnavi-san, could you please to the next slide? Great. So first up, we've been going to learn about this program from Mr. Sasaki, who is the Senior Manager at University of Tokyo India Office, followed by a general overview of study in Japan from Miss Vaishnave THAKUR, who is a PhD student at University of Tokyo, and presentations from the 3 Japanese universities, which are Kanazawa University, Nagoya University, and Ritsumeikan University. So now I would like to ask Mr. Sasaki to briefly introduce the program.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
So, thank you, Sakshi-san. Good afternoon, everyone. Namaste. Welcome to this webinar, A Study in Japan, the first session of 2023 season. I'm Kazunori Sasaki, Senior Manager of University of Tokyo India Office. First of all, before giving you a brief information about the project, I would like to thank all of you. It is a great pleasure for us that you have participated in our webinar. Thank you for supporting our online session by attending. I'd also like to thank all of the panelists today from prestigious Japanese universities. Thank you very much for contributing into this webinar series. So, as a facilitator, Sakshi-san has already introduced that this project, Study and Work in Japan, is hosted by the University of Tokyo India Office and sponsored by MEXT, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technologies in Japan. From our online webinar series, our mission to introduce nearly 30 plus esteemed Japanese universities to you and to assist you to study and work in Japan. I must tell you that Japan has some of the best universities in the world. Whether it is University of Tokyo, Kanazawa University, Nagoya University, Ritsumeikan University, and many more Japanese universities, which we will have introduced to you in our following webinars, have been ranked among top universities in the world. It's really great opportunity for all of you to participate in our webinar. And you can also ask your queries directly to the representatives of each university. Lastly, I'd like to add one important point here, that there are so many of you joining us today, and it has been difficult for us to answer all of your queries during the session. So it's better if you can note down the contact address of each university, and if your question hasn't been answered during the session, you can contact them later by writing them. So please listen to each and every presentation very carefully. So please stay till the end We have a lot of useful information to share with you. We hope you will enjoy the experience and will receive the beneficial information from our webinar. Thank you very much, and please enjoy today's session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sasaki-san, for briefly introducing about what this program is all about. So thanks a lot. So next up, I would like to ask Ms. Vaishnavi to give an insight on the general information about study in Japan.
Thank you, Sakshi.
Vaishnavi-san, you're on mute.
Sorry for that. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us in today's webinar. Today I'll present about the general information of studying in Japan, which is a country which is known for its rich culture, technological advancements, and top quality education. So whether you are considering for undergraduate programs or graduate programs, Japan offers a multitude of opportunities for international students. So let's look into what, let's embark on this journey and discover what education Japan offers. So let me start with a brief introduction about myself. I'm Vaishnave THAKUR. I'm a doctoral student in the University of Tokyo. I completed my master's as well in the electrical engineering from the University of Tokyo. And my current research is on solar panels. So I'm studying in Japan as a MEC scholarship recipient. And in the previous webinars, we have already covered the details about the application process and my experience of studying in Japan. Now in this presentation, let me start with why to consider Japan, the education in Japan, and also various costs involved like tuition fees and living expenses, and the scholarships available, and also the general application process for the universities. So let's begin with why Japan. So why did I choose Japan, and why do I think Japan is one of the best countries for higher education? So one of the salient features of Japan is its safety. So it consistently ranks among the top 10 countries as one of the safest countries. And it also has low crime rates and also an efficient law enforcement. So as an international student, you can feel secure and focus on your studies, knowing that you are in a very safe and peaceful environment. And the second one is the public transportation. I cannot emphasize enough on the convenience of public transportation in Japan. So you can easily commute from the university to lab or like travel anywhere till late hours without worrying a lot. And lastly, another important aspect about Japan is its national health insurance. So when we consider it when we compare it with the Western countries, where we hear a lot of complaints about how bad the health policies and the health insurances are, so Japan is not like that. It has one of the best excellent national health insurance system, where almost 70% of the health insurance is covered by the government, and the remaining 30% is also covered by the universities. So these are some of the salient features of living in Japan. And now let's look at the education in Japan. So Japanese universities have a stellar reputation for their commitment to academic excellence. The country is home to very numerous prestigious institutions that offer a wide range of programs across various disciplines. So whether you are interested in arts, engineering, or business or sciences, you'll find a program that suits your interest and career goals. So today we have 3 universities in the webinar which describe about various programs and the admission process into them. So you can stay tuned to the universities. And another important aspect of studying in Japan is the research opportunities. So most of the universities in Japan are focused on research. So unlike in other countries where they have course-based curriculum, the universities in Japan are mostly research-based curriculum. So if you are looking into coming into academia or also working into or also planning to work in research positions and industry, so I think you can gain a lot by enrolling into the research-based programs. And next is the international collaboration. So some of the universities have top-notch collaborations with the top-notch universities across the world. Let it be Cambridge, Yale, or any other university. So we have there are many collaborations going on, and Also, another important aspect I would like to emphasize is the admission process into these universities. So the admission into these universities is mostly centered on universities. So in India, we have like centralized system like the entrance exams, for example, JEE, NEET, through which students are placed in various universities. But whereas in Japan, each university has its own entrance exam, and the admission process and the everything lies with the universities. So we can say that the admission into the universities in Japan are university centered. And one of the common misconceptions we have about studying in Japan is the language. So Japanese language may seem very intimidating at first, but without worrying about the language, there are many English-based programs which are both in undergraduate and graduate courses. So students need not worry about knowing Japanese language. But even though, like I mentioned earlier, so Japanese language, it might seem a little intimidating, but don't be discouraged with that, because there are many universities which provide Japanese language classes, and also they provide the language support programs where you have language partners, and also with the activities in every ward, you can easily interact with Japanese citizens and also the Japanese students and improve your language. So once we enroll into the graduate school, it is usually there are like quite different levels in order to gain the proficiency in Japanese language from N1 to N5. So if you study in for 2 years in a graduate school or program, you could come out with a proficiency of about N3, N4 proficiency. So which is quite good. And also, even though if you do not know any Japanese language, you can still enroll in these courses. For example, even when I came to Japan earlier, I had zero knowledge. I didn't even know the basic characters of Japanese language, but we can easily improve. And the Japanese language is not a must to enroll in the courses. So now when we look at the cost of studying and the various costs involved, so for the undergraduate and graduate programs, these are the rough estimates between various national, public and private universities. And affordability is like a significant factor when we consider like studying abroad. So tuition fees vary between program to program and also between various universities. So this is just an average and to have a general idea of how the tuition fees is. And when we go to the living expenses, so it's true that living in Japan can be an exciting experience, but it also comes at the cost of expenses. So the cost of living also varies from region to region, and the approximate total cost for living in Japan would be around 1,20,000 to 1,70,000, and considering this in the major metropolitan cities. So with mindful spending, and if you are able to manage your finances wisely, so this number can go down very significantly, and you can stay within the means. So when we look at various accommodation facilities in the universities, so we have university dormitories which you can enroll into, and also there are private dormitories and also shared houses where there is common kitchen and common shared spaces, and there are also off-campus apartments. So in this presentation, I'm mostly covering about the general information, like the general doubts which we usually get in the Q&A portal. So this is you'll find many aspects of it very broad. And so in order to survive or live in Japan, so the financial support is also very crucial for many students if you are considering to study abroad. So Japan offers a variety of scholarships and financial aid opportunities, and which are specially designed for the international students. So some of these scholarships you can target are the MEC scholarship, JASA scholarship, and even JASA scholarship also offers short-term scholarships if you are coming for just like a research program for about 10 days or like up to 1 month programs. And there are also many local government scholarships, like for example, in Tokyo, we have Tokyo Metropolitan Scholarship, and Hokkaido Metropolitan Scholarship. So there are many local government scholarships as well. And besides this, universities also provide these scholarships. Like these scholarships can be like fully funded scholarships, or they can be some of the scholarships can fund the tuition fees, but you have to live on your own. So based on the university and the type of scholarship, every university has different scholarships. And besides this, there are also private scholarships, and some of the famous private scholarships are from the Rotary Club and also the Japan WCO Human Resource Development. So if you're looking, these scholarships, because many students are mostly from the engineering and STEM background, so you can find these are some of the prominent scholarships. But if you're someone looking for a cultural exchange, trying to learn arts or Japanese culture, in that we have scholarships from the Japan Foundation and also Japan Society for the Promotion of Science, which is JSPS. So you can target scholarships from these foundations. So these financial options, these alleviate the financial burden and also make studying in Japan more accessible for many international students. So you can avail most of the scholarships and take advantage of them. And now when we look at the application process into these universities, so how do they start? So first step would be like to start from research phase. Try to understand the field or area which you are interested in. Even though it is very broad, try to just get an idea about which field you are interested in, and then look into the programs, like go through various labs in the universities you want to get admission into. So look into the labs. So once you find a lab, there are various on the lab websites. You'll have the papers and the research work being done in the lab, and also the papers which are being listed from the lab. So you can go through the papers and also have some idea about the research work. And then the next step would be to contact the professor. So one of the frequent questions which we get is that how do I contact the professor? What do I mention while contact the professor? So keep the email as brief as you can, but also try to portray that you are really interested in the research work which is being done. So you can mention, attach the following 3 documents, like for example, starting with the current field of work you are in, and then your future research proposal along with your CV. So attach these documents and keep your mail as brief and as concise as possible, and contact the professor. So if the professor likes your profile, then he might set up an interview. So once you clear the interview, you have got the acceptance from the professor. And then the next step would be to go to the, check the university admission timeline. So while doing this, keep in mind about the university admission process, like when does it start and when do you have to apply. So the next step would be to the admission timeline, check the timeline and apply to the university with the required documents. So some universities and some departments, they require an entrance exam to be enrolled. So even though you get a professor acceptance, so some universities might further require entrance exam. For example, University of Tokyo. So most of the departments and programs require entrance exam here. So while applying for the scholarship and while applying also to the university, the scholarship application also parallelly starts. So as you clear the entrance exam or as you clear the university admission process, so the university, you can let the university know that you want to avail scholarships. So, and you can do this process in parallel, and finally you'll get the result of your university admission and also the scholarship. Or it is also possible that you might get the scholarship result a little later as well. So this is a general process for most of the programs in the universities, but there are many different programs with different specifications. So which you can keep track of it by looking at the website or by being in contact with the admission counselors. So I want to once again emphasize that this is only the general admission process. So be aware that there are like different admission process for different programs. So this is about the application process and also the scholarships in various universities in Japan. So now let's move into how the usual life in Japan is. So it is very peaceful, and let me mention a little about the Indian community. So Japan has a very vibrant Indian community, and I think Indians are in every part of the world. So you need not feel like you might not be feeling a lot of homesick because of the Indian community. So there are various cultural organizations and student associations and also the events that celebrate festivals and traditions. So there's a common platform to connect with everyone else, and also the studying in Japan also offers like various other additional benefits that contribute to a very enriching experience. So I would say that one of the best life-changing decisions I have made is coming here to study in Japan. And another advantage of studying here would be the opportunity to immerse yourself in the Chinese tradition and culture and celebrate the festivals. So in addition to the cultural immersion, Japan is also very renowned for its technological advancement, from cutting edge technological advancement. So it's a global leader in various fields, and including robotics, engineering, and transportation. So you'll be exposed to a very groundbreaking research. And besides that, we are well aware of the Japan's natural beauty and its unique destinations. So from the temples in Tokyo to the bustling streets in Tokyo, Japan offers a very wide range of landscapes and experiences. So traveling within Japan is also very convenient with its high-speed Shinkansen. So this is an overall how my life looks in the weekend. So if you are really considering for applying for the, if you have decided to study abroad and are considering to apply for the, and are looking into the universities, so I would definitely recommend you studying in Japan. And yes, so one important thing which many people ask is about the food, vegetarian food. So Japan, like Japanese food is also very rich and diverse Japanese cuisine. And also there's availability of Indian food options and also grocery stores. Like we get vegetarian food very often in convenience stores, or there are many restaurants as well. So Japan is also a hub for tasting, exploring many new tastes and culinary experiences. So this is overall a general view about studying and living in Japan. So I'll conclude my presentation by saying that if you're currently struck at choosing a university or studying abroad, I would recommend you to consider all the options when it comes to the university rankings, and then safety, and then cost involved, and the financial aid options which you can get, the quality of life when you are studying by being a student. And also, I have not emphasized much on the life after studies, about the job hunting and the placement. So you can even consider that, and analyze all of these options, and then choose whatever goes best for you. So irrespective of the decision you take, just stick to it and go ahead. And with this, I would conclude my presentation. And if you have any questions, you can post them in the Q&A portal, and we can pick up a few questions and answer them.
Thank you so much, Vaishnavi-san. Your presentation was very helpful because you shared your personal experiences as well. And then I believe that all our students would get some kind of help with your presentation. So thanks a lot for that. Can we have the agenda slide, please?
Yes. If there's still time, we can pick a few questions, Sakshi-san, or if the time is okay, then we can proceed.
I would believe we could proceed with the presentation, other panelists, because running out of time. Yeah. Sure. Thanks a lot. So next up, we have a presentation by Kanazawa University, which is one of the Japanese national university in the city of Kanazawa, and one of the oldest Japanese universities. So it has been the leader of universities on the Sea of Japan, and it's continuously and substantially contributed to the development of higher education in Japan, as well as the global promotion of research by offering undergraduate and graduate courses. And today we've been joined by Professor Aida, who will be giving us an insight into the university. So Professor Aida, would you mind sharing your slide, please?
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity to present our university. I hope everybody can hear me, and I will give a brief introduction about our university, and later if you have some questions you can write in the chat or ask me directly. Okay, so I'm going to share the slides, and let's start from the beginning. Oh, sorry, it went from okay, I'll go from here. Okay, so Kanazawa University, I hope you have heard the name of Kanazawa, at least because we all know Tokyo and Kyoto like big cities, but also Kanazawa is one of the oldest, one of the traditional and beautiful cities in whole Japan. Today's my presentation will be, I will give introduction, and then I will talk about our city and what for we are famous. And then what our students can learn from our university, like regular courses, short courses, and also how to become international student at our university. Then the scholarship opportunities, and then dormitory facilities. And finally, I would like to give you some tips to when you will come to our university, what kind of support we can provide to you as well. Okay, this is our campus. It's very big and very huge. It's number 3rd, I think, by the size, one of the biggest campus of University of Japan. In this link, you can see more details about our university. Just we don't have a time, so I will proceed. Where we're located, so from Tokyo and from Kyoto, if you just take a train in by 2.5 hours, you can reach our university directly, our city directly. It's very convenient location, and it is facing the Sea of Japan. And the seasons, we have 4 very nicely distinguished seasons, like, and you can see from these pictures, due to the seasons, we have a beautiful scenery of this city, which is make it to be very attractive for the tourists. And during the peak seasons, in April for Sakura season or for snow season, we have a lot of tourists as well who is visiting our city. And we have one of the beautiful station in the world. This you can see from the picture on the right side, and one of the beautiful garden in all Japan as well. So this was just brief introduction about the city. And now our university. You can see in the pictures, we have 2 campuses. One campus is called Kakuma campus, another one is Takaramachi campus. And campuses are divided by the departments. Takaramachi is a campus for medical sciences. And the other Kakuma campus is very famous for engineers and for the people who study technology and natural sciences, as well as social sciences here. So Kanazawa University is one of the national universities in Japan, and we're the 4th largest campus in all Japan. And totally we have, at the present moment, we have around 10,000 students, and more than 600 are international students. And here on this slide, you can see that our region is also very highly developed. It's called Ishikawa Prefecture, so very highly developed region as well. So next, what field you can study at our university? For undergraduate students, we provide 4 schools. One school is Human and Social Sciences. Another one is Medical and Pharmaceutical Sciences, where we produce our own doctors, and we have our own hospital as well. And the other one is Science and Engineering, which is very popular among Indian students, on which I would like to emphasize, especially in the fields like chemistry, biology, mathematics, and physics. We have a lot of researchers who study here as well. And the final is a new one. It calls Transdisciplinary Science for Innovation. This is a new department, new school, where we provide entrepreneurship and innovation studies, tourism studies and design, and also smart technology and innovations. So this is a very multidisciplinary studies field. It's very new, and as far as I know, India still lacking this kind of multidisciplinary science courses. So next is it for the students who wants to be the graduate students, like masters or PhD students. The same, we provide 3 main divisions for them to study. It's human and social environmental studies, like humanities, economies, international studies, etc. Another one is natural science and technologies. As I mentioned earlier, in this graduate school, we have a lot of researchers from India who come to study a PhD and masters, and medical sciences as well. And also we have frontier science initiatives, law programs, and professional development in education, in teacher education as well. So I need to emphasize that our university has a partnership with 6 universities with India. Mainly this is IITs, like IIT Madras, IIT Hyderabad, IIT Guwahati, and now we're working with Calcutta and some other private universities as well. And we're looking forward for the students to come and study with us in that field as well. And if you come, then the tuition fee, if you're from that university, then your tuition fee will be free with our university. So next, I would like to show you here, so like admission procedures, how you can be enrolled in our university. First, as undergraduate students, this is a little bit tricky and very hard procedure because you have to go eligibility screening. So you show your documents, how many years you have studied in India. And if you are eligible, then you have to take another one. This is a test. Take EGU test and TOEFL test. What is EGU test? EGU test, it means examination for Japanese university admissions. And it's only conducted for international students. And this examination is conducted in your own country. So you need to check the dates and how it's conducted. And you need to take the TOEFL exam to prove that you can speak English as well. After you passing this test, you are having exam and interview at our university. And if you're passing this step as well, then you're admitted to our university. Next, for graduate students, mainly masters and PhD students, the procedure is much more easy, and you should not take any EGU test here. You just go the eligibility screening, and the most important, you need to find a professor or academic advisor who will guide you during your entire studies at the university. So what is this eligibility screening? It's when you show your documents that you have completed bachelor degree and you write a proposal or some kind of suggestion to this academic advisor that you want to do this kind of research. And if he agrees, then you will have entrance examination. And entrance examination is not also a difficult one. It's interview and the screening of your documents. So interview will be conducted by 3 professors. And if they all agree, then you are admitted to our university. This is examination and interview. All right, so this is undergraduate and graduate courses, but what about if you just wanted to come for the short-term programs, like 1 year or 6 months, and do not spend like 3 years or 4 years? With these short-term exchange programs, we have also agreement with some Indian universities, and you can come and study with us without paying tuition fees as well. What you're doing for that, you just apply. You have to check all these programs at the website of our university when they start. By the deadline, you are applying for these programs, and then if you are eligible, then you can proceed further. And it's one of the easiest one, and many students come with this. Also, we provide with just a scholarship students, so they can come and study with us without paying any tuition fee, as well as they will get the governmental support. So in this slide, I just wanted to show you how it flows. So on the left side, I'm showing the diagram, how it comes for the students who wants to be full-time students and get the certificate of completion. And the right side is showing if you want to come just as a research student without getting any certificate of completion for 6 months or for 1 year. So first you have to go to the website and find a prospective academic advisor. The second step, you have to get his approval from him. After getting his approval, you should decide, do you want to go as a degree student or non-degree student? If you want to be a degree student, then you apply for the university and get the entrance examination. But in case if you don't want to be a degree student, then you go to this part of the line, which is written no. You just submit your application as a research student. And in this case, you don't need to you will not be eligible to get the diploma, but you will be able to come and study with us for 6 months or 1 year. And then the procedure is the same. You just get entrance examination, do interview, and you are enrolled to our university. So please check this website if you're interested how to become the students of our university. Everything is put online. This is the 3 main schools that I showed. We have details information for applying the documents. And I need to say that for master students and PhD students who wants to come from this year in October, the examination deadline, the deadline for the application will start in June. So always check the website. If you want to come in October, then check the website and apply until the June. And this is the website how you can find academic advisor. So in this website, you just go and write the keywords of your study or something. And below you can see the institute and the name of the faculties. And each of these links can provide the name of the professors. So you just search one by one and find the professor with whom you would like to work. And this is an exchange program, like a short-term exchange program that we're providing, where you can learn about Japanese language, Japanese culture. This is a very short 1 year or semester, 6 months, year programs. And they usually also start in October or in April. But for these programs, you need to have either Japanese skills or English skills, and they should be, your English skills should be very high, so you can understand the entire course. Or if you have Japanese courses, Japanese language skills, it will be more easy for you to be enrolled in these courses as well. For like studies, this is a beside like studying your usual courses, we provide 18 courses for Japanese culture and society, and you can choose one of them, which is interested, or several of them. For example, I'm conducting the course about the UNESCO designated sites and SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, etc. And there is many courses like Japanese martial arts, traditional culture, architecture, karate, even we have like contemporary arts and design, and etc. So we have very interesting courses for students to enjoy. This is our research center. We have lots of advanced research centers all over the world. Unfortunately, still we don't have a research center with India, but I hope we will do it in a close future. And this is a number of international students that we are having. As you can see here, most of them are privately funded students. And some of them are funded by Japanese government, MEXT, and JASO. And this is our partner institutions from all over the world. Now we have 306 partner institutions from all over the world, and the liaison offices. We are having, you can see in the map. I will skip this slide also. The scholarship opportunities, I will be very fast. We provide 4 types of scholarship. One is MEXT scholarship. You already know about it. Just apply it through the Japanese embassy. Another one is JASO scholarship, which is provided for our side, our university, but we give it to the students who have a very nice academic record. Another scholarship is a private foundations scholarship. We have more than 30 companies and private foundations with whom we're working, and they provide a scholarship. But in this case, you need to know Japanese language. And finally is Kanazawa University scholarship as well. This scholarship will provide only for degree-seeking graduate students at Kanazawa University. Next is our dormitory facilities. We have 3 innovative, very beautiful and new dormitories. The living cost at Kanazawa will be around 80,000 yen per month. In US dollars, I don't know, or maybe in rupees, if I say it will be 400,000 rupees. I can be wrong, please check it by yourself. Yes, per month. It's not so expensive like big cities like Tokyo or other cities, which living cost is really high. In Kanazawa, it's still not so, it's reasonable, still you can afford it. And we have advising system for the international students. When you come, we provide you with a tutor system. Tutors are the people, they're also Japanese students who help you in your daily life. They help you how to communicate with other people inside the university, and also how to register your courses. So they provide you the daily life support. And also we provide advising system for career education programs, because most of the students after graduation, they want to stay in Japan. And we provided them some kind of advice support how to find a job inside the Japan and Kanazawa and stay here and work. And I should say that Indian students are very, very demandable, and many companies want to apply and hire Indian students, especially in the fields of technologies and science. And we have online consultation system. If you're interested, just go to our homepage, and online you can chat with the people. You can provide questions that you want to know. Just go to this website and you can listen. Not listen, you can chat with our administration staff. And this is the voices of our international students. Just I want to emphasize that our university do not provide only a good education, quality education, but also students enjoy the culture and tradition, which is, I need to emphasize again, because this place is very traditional and very old, and it has a culture which is more than 400 years ago, and it's still preserved here. Yes, I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I would like to finish my presentations from here, and I'm looking forward to hear from you and to answer your questions. Sorry, the time runs very fast. I hope I have a time for the questions. If no, we can go with next presenter.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Aida. That was very informative. We could just take up one quick question over here. So one of our students want to know about the documents which is required from the Kanazawa University. So if you can briefly talk about that, that would be very much.
Yes, the documents, must documents should be your academic records from India, how many years you have completed in India, how many years you have been studied at the undergraduate school or graduate school, and provide the transcripts of your records, as well as you need to provide the document of your English eligibility, how well it should be TOEFL or IELTS, and also, if it's needed, some recommendation letter from your supervisor if you are a graduate student. So all the documentation list is written in our homepage. Please check for the details, and it differs from department to department.
Okay, thanks a lot. And I think our students are asking continuous questions on a Q&A, and would be helpful if you could leave your contact details over there, so maybe they can get in touch.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
I will leave you from now on. I hope you will enjoy the sessions. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. So can we have the agenda slide, please? Thank you. So next up, we have a presentation from Nagoya University. So Nagoya University is basically, it's a Japanese research national university in Nagoya, and it is one of the top type university of top global universities and project by the Japanese government. And we've been joined by Professor Suneta and Professor Kanazawa, who will be talking about the Graduate School of International Development. So professors, off to you.
Hi, everyone. Okay, first of all, let me share my slide. Okay. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to our session, Study Abroad at Graduate School of International Development, Nagoya University. I am Suneta, and today my colleague, Professor Kanazawa, will introduce to you our graduate school and our university. Okay, today I'm going to speak about Nagoya City and Nagoya University in general, and then English taught G30 international programs for undergraduate and graduate programs. And then I will speak in detail about my graduate school of International Development, which we call GSID. And then my colleague, Professor Kanazawa, will speak about her research life at GSID. And we will end our session with our student voice, Mr. Yash, will speak about his experience at GSID. So first of all, I would like to show you the map of Japan, and you can see that Nagoya City is located in the middle between Tokyo and Osaka, and Nagoya is the 4th largest city in Japan. Nagoya University was founded in 1871, and it has 9 undergraduate schools and 13 graduate schools. We have around 15,000 students, and among them, we have around 12% of international students. And we are very proud to produce 6 Nobel laureates since the year 2000. Next, I'm going to speak, later I will mention about the international programs which are taught fully in English. Our campus, you can see from the photo, is located in the heart of Nagoya city. And we have a subway station in front of our campus. As for the English taught G30 undergraduate programs, there are 5 programs covering from science to social science and humanities. As for graduate program, there are more than 7 programs, again, covering from science to social science and humanities. And we are from Graduate School of International Development, which I would like to explain to you more in detail about this. Okay. And our university has several dormitories for international students. So once you are accepted to the program, you can stay in one of these dormitories. In terms of finance, in case that you decide to come to Nagoya University under your own expense, if you study in undergraduate program, which will last for 4 years, so in total, approximately, it should cost you around $50,000 US. And then for master's program, it will last 2 years, and doctoral program, it will last for 3 years. Okay, so if you are interested in the English taught G30 program, international programs, you can send email to this email address, or you can check the QR code on the screen for other social media. Okay. And we also have student organizations which they can give you some they can tell you about their experience at Nagoya University. Okay, next I'm going to speak about Graduate School of International Development. We call it GSID. Okay. GSID was established in 1991 as the first graduate school in Japan specializing in international development. In our school, we use English as a medium of teaching, and we have international learning environment with international students accounting for more than 70% of the student body. And our graduate school is diverse and multicultural. For our faculty members, there are also non-Japanese professors, and around half of the faculty members are female. And our curriculum reflects SDGs, and our education is multidisciplinary, and we conduct policy-oriented research. Our graduate school focuses on practical education and training. And the last point that I would like to mention, that we receive global recognition. Our graduate school is ranked at 71st to 100 in the QS World University Ranking in the field of development studies in the year 2022 and this year 2023. In our graduate school, we offer 5 educational programs. The first one, program in education, in economic development policy and management. Second one, program in education and human resource development. Program in inclusive society and state. Program in peace and governance. And then the last program in poverty and social policy. And we also have special program for global business professionals, which offer 1-year master's program. And then we have another one, which is called Global Leader Career Course, which is designed for students who wish to pursue careers at international organizations. Because we are a graduate school, we offer a master's program and doctoral program. So the student capacity is 44 students per 1 year per intake for master's program, and 22 students for doctoral program. And you can see on the screen list names of our professors, 20 professors. They are and their specialized field. We divided into 5 fields, from economic to legal field. And today, my colleague, Professor Kanazawa, will speak about her experience too. And then if we plot the academic field with the geographical focus, you can see that our professors cover many parts of the world. And we have 2 professors who are expert on India. Okay, one very interesting feature of our school is we offer overseas fieldworks and domestic fieldworks. These fieldworks are part of the regular curriculum of GSID. The student will study development issues on the ground. So the fieldwork sites are selected from among rural and urban areas of the developing countries in Asia or of Japan in case of domestic fieldwork. If you are interested to check about the features of each fieldworks, you can see the QR code here. And we also encourage the student to join internship, and we have some agreements with international organizations that we send our students to do internship. Okay, the lists are on the screen. And in terms of scholarships, of course, as you know, that we also accept students under the Japanese government makes scholarship, which you will apply through the embassy in your country. I guess that probably the application for this year might be closed already. If you missed the deadline this year, you may apply next year. After you have passed the first screening at the embassy, you can apply to GSID for university placement, and the deadline is around the end of August. Okay, we also conduct another scholarship scheme called ADB GSP. This scholarship program is only for master's program, and the students have to be from ADB member countries and have 2 years of working experience. If you are interested in this scholarship, you can send email to adb@gsid.nagoya-u.ac.jp. So for this scholarship, we have 7 slots each year. So we would be very welcome to receive application from Indian student. And the application deadline is in June. So I hope you check the website soon and prepare the documents. We also accept JICA scholarship students, and there are several schemes of the JICA scholarship. If you are interested in applying for JICA scholarship, you have to contact a local JICA office in your country. And then on the screen, you can see the world map with we have alumni network all over the world, and you can see on the map for India we have 7 graduates from master's program and 2 graduates from PhD, and we would love to welcome more students from India. Okay, next I would like to invite my colleague to speak about her experience at GSID. Kano Sensei, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Suneta. My name is Reiko. I'm an associate professor here at GSID at Nagoya University in the Poverty and Social Policy program. So I'd just like to give you a little bit of insight into what we do here. Next slide, please. Yes, hello. Namaste. Mera naam Reiko hai. And so I'd like to tell you a little bit about my research and teaching here at GSID. Next slide, please. I'm really excited to speak to students from India who are about to or are considering studying abroad, as studying abroad has been a very big part of my life. I went to an American school in Tokyo, a Christian school, and then I did my undergraduate degree in the US in a very kind of liberal environment. So it's very interesting to see those differences. I then did my postgraduate studies in Britain, which again was very different. And during that time, I was able to do fieldwork in India at Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi, and also the University of Hong Kong in Hong Kong. So it was really interesting to see all of these different research cultures. And before I settled in Nagoya in September 2021, I did a postdoc at Scottish universities, the University of Strathclyde and Edinburgh. So next slide, please. As for my main area of research, as Suneta Sensei mentioned, I focus on India. I'm also a global health historian. So what I do is I go to archives of international and national agencies and I interview people. My PhD was on the AIDS response in India, and I was very interested in the way that government, civil society, foreign donors, and for-profit entities worked with each other to understand and mount a response to this new disease that was first identified in India in 1986. So this is a public health poster from INSA, International Nursing Services Association in India, based in Bangalore. Did a lot of work on education for HIV activities. I currently am expanding my research on India. I just got a grant that from Kakenhi, which is the Japanese main research funding body, and it's on India's Declaration of Economic Liberalization in 1991. More specifically, I'm going to look at the dynamics between India, World Bank, IMF, and Japan in negotiating this process that culminated in the reforms in late 1991. So next slide, please. As for my teaching, so that was my research, my teaching here at GSID, I teach graduate students. I have two courses. One in the spring I'm currently doing is called International Development and Global Health. And our core course question is, has global health, this new idea of global health that's really emerged around the mid-2000s, has it replaced international development? And we look at pharma, for-profit entities. We also look at research and development for drugs, such as Retrovir, which is the first HIV/AIDS drug released in 1987. In the fall, I teach theory of South Asian development, where we ask, is there a distinctly South Asian model of development, looking at all 8 countries in the SAARC region, looking at their dynamics with each other, and India being a very important player in that, and asking whether there's a unique conception of development that is that South Asia has, that other countries, other regions of the world can learn from, including Japan. So that's in the fall. Next slide, please. I also have a few exciting student projects. I have a master's student from Peru who is now very interested in India, and he is working on a project. He's trying to document the COVID-19 outbreak in Uttarakhand, and he's looking at the Kumbh Mela festival and how different stakeholders presented what needed to be done to hold this festival, but also maintain the necessary restrictions, as this was the time when India faced another wave. So that's my student from Peru. Next slide, please. I also supervise PhD students. I have a current student from Cape Verde, which is in West Africa, and he is interested in narcotics control. So his project looks at cocaine trafficking from Latin America, so coca leaf produced, and this illicit trafficking network that has developed over the past decade, especially targeting European markets as the US market closed down. And he's looking at West African countries as becoming an important node for trafficking that cocaine. So he's interviewing policymakers in Cape Verde and Senegal, UNODC people. I think he's also trying to arrange a internship with the the International Narcotics Control Board, which is one of the UN bodies for narcotics control. So next slide, please. But finally, I do want to end with the fact that we are we're a very close-knit group here at GSID. This is our gymnasium over on the south side of campus, and I play futsal with Mendes Sensei in the econ program, GSID econ program. I play volleyball with Yash, who you'll hear from soon. He's gotten a lot more interested in volleyball recently, which is good. I play ping pong with our staff members like Tajima-san, and badminton with Suneta Sensei, who kindly invited me to our Tuesday badminton sessions. So to conclude, in Japan, we have a saying, "Kawaii ko ni wa tabi o saseo," which means let beloved children travel alone. This is the best way that they will learn. So I'm very excited to have spoken to you, and I'm wishing the very best for you in your higher education. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kanazawa Sensei. So in this slide, I would like to show if you have any question on admission to GSID, please send us an email, and you can check out our website. You can search GSID too. And as our education and research is closely related to SDGs, so we support SDGs. And then we wish to welcome you next year. Before I close my session, I would like to show you a video clip of our student. Wait a moment, please. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Hello, my name is Yashasvi Kumar Tripathi. I'm from India. I'm from Lucknow in UP. And I'm currently a student at Nagoya University at the Graduate School of International Development. And over here there's multiple programs, and the program that I'm studying is Education and Human Resource Development. So before coming to Japan, I pursued my undergraduate at University of Hertfordshire in the UK, where I studied politics and international relations. Then after that, I moved to Japan, and I worked here for 2 years, for about 2.5 years as an English teacher. And after working here for about 2-3 years, I thought that I was comfortable enough with the environment, and I wanted to pursue my studies again, so I enrolled at GSID for my master's. And there's many reasons why I chose to study in Japan, but I guess the most prevalent one is that I'd already experienced education in India and then again in UK, which was relatively similar to the rest of the Western world, and I wanted to experience education in a new environment. So already being here, as well as Japan having quite reputable universities, it was quite an easy decision for me to continue my master's here in Japan. And in order for me to prepare to study here, I mean, I was already in the loop of education since I was working as a teacher, but I just had to brush up on my academics a little bit more, work on my research proposal, and make it as good as I could within undergraduate knowledge. So that's what I did, and then I submitted my application and joined here at GSID. Then currently I'm studying education and human resource development, and my research is quite contemporary. It's about the learning recovery plan that's being implemented in India. The post-COVID, there was a very drastic learning loss, so I'm trying to study the learning recovery process. And as far as the challenges go, I mean, Japan is a very accommodating community, so there's not very drastic challenges. I guess when I first came here, the biggest challenge was the language barrier, but it's not extremely difficult to overcome now, especially with the technology and with Google Translate being available. It's rather easy to adapt to the new environment as well. So I suppose that's the biggest challenge that I faced, and one that was not very difficult to overcome. And the last thing I'd say is here at GSID, it's a very closely knit community, and you'll meet people from all over the world. And if you want to have a very good experience during your master's education, come and join us at GSID.
Thank you. So this is the end of our presentation.
Thank you so much, Professor Suneta and Professor Kanazawa. That was quite informative and educative for me as well in the terms of research, because most of our students also want, usually we talk about undergraduate levels, but for the graduate and master PhD levels, I think it's very important for students to know that what kind of opportunities are waiting in Japan. So thank you so much for that. I would like to ask a few questions from our potential students. So first is about the Nagoya University. So the on the basis, like for example, I think they said that does Nagoya University provide any guidance regarding the research topic that should be considered based on the resources which are available, or do the students contact the professors directly? So do you have any kind of session for that?
Well, first of all, application process and offer scholarship programs are different depending on the school, graduate school. So I would suggest that student go to the main website of Nagoya University, visit, check the information of the school or graduate school that you are interested in, and then check the how to say, the areas that are covered by that school, and then contact each school for more detail. We have each school and graduate school offer the event called Open Campus, which is a half-day event that we invite prospective students to join the session, and we give explanation, orientation about our education and research program, and also scholarship and admission process. So, but the schedule differs, so I would suggest that the student visit the website and check for the schedule of the Open Campus events.
Okay, thanks a lot. As for the master's program in business at Nagoya University, can a student apply with the 2 years of experience, or 3 years is a minimum requirement?
For the business program is under the G30 undergraduate program. So you have to apply through the G30 admission office.
Okay,
Yes,
sure.
but
So,
for the scholarship that you mentioned, this is the I just post the contact information for each program. Okay, and for the ADB scholarships program that you mentioned, which our school directly manage, is the program for master's program. The applicants have to have 2 years of working experience.
okay. Sure.
Yes.
Thanks a lot for that. I think the students are asking a lot of questions regarding Nagoya University. Would be appreciated if you could answer those questions, as well as Kanazawa Sensei, if you could answer those questions, that would be very much helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I will do so during the next session. Okay.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Can we have the gender slide, please? Great. So let's move on with the last set of presentations. We have a presentation from Ritsumeikan University, and to present Ritsumeikan, we have Ms. Priyanka Bangiya, who is a Deputy Director from Ritsumeikan India office. So Ritsumeikan University is a private university in Kyoto in Japan, which is renowned for its international relations, science and engineering departments, with the Graduate School of International Relations being the only Japanese member of Association of Professional Schools of International Affairs. So Priyanka-san, up to you.
Thank you, Ms. Sakshi. Thank you, everyone, for patiently waiting. Okay, I will start my presentation. So to share a little bit about myself, I've been working with Ritsumeikan University for last 12.5 years, taking care of India office. And today I'll be sharing with you about Ritsumeikan University and the courses that are taught in English. So this big R in Japan is very popular with the name Ritsumeikan University in Japan. Where are we located? We're located in Kansai region. That's about 2 hours, 30 minutes from Tokyo. We have different campuses in different locations like Shiga, Kyoto, and Osaka. So to tell you about different location of the campus, I would want to share that Kyoto as a city is very historical. It used to be the capital of Japan. Kyoto receives lots of tourists. Anybody coming to Japan, would want to go to Tokyo and Kyoto as a tourist destination, surrounded by many World Heritage sites. It's very nostalgic and student-friendly, surrounded by many universities in and around Kyoto area. Shiga, where we have our engineering campus, is rich in nature, industrial, and relaxed. And talking about the Osaka city, we have a Osaka Ibaraki campus very near to Osaka city. So Osaka city is very vibrant, welcoming, and a commercial hub. So you can see Universal Studio in Osaka. So university was founded in 1900. It's 123 years old university. We have 5 English taught undergraduate program, and I will also be sharing with you about the graduate and PhD program as well. We are part of top global university Japan, and with 36,000 plus students and 2,728 international students studying in the university. So this is a top global 30 program that Ritsumeikan is part of, as selected by Japanese government. So one of the activity is helping students to know about Ritsumeikan University so that they can come and study in English in Ritsumeikan. Yeah. So this is about the foreign students that I've already shared from 77 countries and regions. So we have international partner universities from 69 countries and region. There are 464 universities and institutions that we partner with, and with 400 clubs and circles. So the student can choose from any of the clubs and circles that they want to be part of. Also, the gym is complimentary for all the students in all our campuses. So there is a strong peer support student staff. We have 3,000 plus peer support community. They help and guide the students first time reaching Japan and the university. So to tell you about the Student Support Office, this office has been established to help the students in terms of any kind of support that is required for career planning, academic guidance, study abroad support, housing and accommodation support, on-campus medical support, and visa application. So accommodation that belongs to Ritsumeikan, we have accommodation, some of the campuses inside and some outside, maximum 15 minutes walking distance that belongs to the university. Yeah. And there are many other private accommodation that is also available around the university, so the student can choose. Yeah. So to talk about part-time job, it's already been shared at one of the presentation that you've already attended, that any child coming to Japan is allowed to work for 28 hours per week and 40 hours during the holiday time. So lots of part-time jobs are available that you can choose from. To talk about the career planning support. So generally, when you complete your second year, so third year is a time when you work, whether you want to work in Japan or anywhere in the world. So some of the major employer that are mentioned on the slide, or whether you want to study in Japan, do your master's, or anywhere in the world. So some of the universities that are mentioned around the world and in Japan that the student would opt to go and study. Yeah. So this support can be taken from the career planning office. So now I'll be sharing with you about the 5 undergraduate program. So first 2 are the collaborative degree. The first is a dual degree program with Australian National University. Here you get 2 degrees. In 4 years, you get an opportunity to study in Japan, Ritsumeikan, and also you get an opportunity to study in Australia, in Australian National University, and you get 2 degrees taught by both professors from both the universities. And the second program is American University. That's a joint degree with American University and Ritsumeikan University. The name of the program is College of International Relations. And with this, you get to study again in both the university and you get a joint degree. The third program is a global study major and the College of International Relations, where you study in Japan And the fourth is a community and regional policy study major, that is College of Policy Science. Again, you study in Japan. And the fifth and last is Information System and Engineering course, that is a College of Information Science and Engineering program that is completely taught in English. Yeah. So this is a slide that I would want to share about a first program that I just mentioned is a collaborative degree with Australian National University. Here I'm sharing it again. You get to study 3 years in Ritsumeikan and 1 year in ANU. Some of the keywords that I can share about this Bachelor of Global Liberal Arts and the Bachelor of Asia Pacific Affairs are philosophy, history, culture studies, sociology, politics, international relation, economics, business, design, information science, psychology, sustainable society, Asian study, Pacific study, war studies, strategic studies, gender studies, diplomacy, Japanese language, and career design. So some of them are mentioned here and more are mentioned on our website. I have already shared all the information. If you want to go on our website or sign up to receive more information directly from Ritsumeikan University, please see the chat column and you can get the information. And my email ID and my contact details are also mentioned there. Moving forward, this is a joint degree program with American University where you get to study in both countries. Kinugasa campus, Kyoto, American University, Washington, DC, and some of the keywords that I can share: US-Japan relation, global and comparative governance, global IR, identity, race, gender and culture, peace, global security and conflict resolution. Yeah. And the third program is the BA in International Relation. We are the only university in Japan has a full accreditation from APSIA for a BA in International Relation. And APSIA is one of the recognition and some of the Ivy Leagues around the world that I can name are Harvard and Yale that have this kind of recognition. And the keywords that I can mention would be international law, peace and conflict study, security study, international human rights, the United Nations, global environmental issue, gender issue, race and ethnicity, and global media. We have Japanese as part of the subject that you can learn along with the program. We don't need Japanese. The students having any Japanese background, because these programs are completely taught in English, but Japanese would be part as to study along with your program. So we have professors who have worked for around the world, and they have worked in big organizations. Some of them I can mention would be United Nations, WHO, and now they are teaching in the university. So this is about our BA in International Relations program. Talking about the BA in Policy Science, it's in Osaka Ibaraki campus, and some of the keywords that I can mention, it's a very small lecture-based study program that we have. So some of the keywords that I can mention is urban planning for sustainable city, community safety, development economics, regional development, global public policy, social welfare policy, public management, and constitutional law. Yeah. And the last program that I would want to share for undergraduate program would be Bachelors of Engineering. It is a very popular program. It is completely taught in English that I already shared. Some of the keywords that I can mention would be IoT, business intelligence, data science, artificial intelligence, robot technology, human interface, effective engineering, digital human, virtual reality, and advanced computer graphic. So this is about Bachelors of Engineering program. So just want to quickly share with you the undergraduate I've already shared. The graduate that I would want to share, I have already shared the link and the email ID in the chat column. Please go through it. But international relation, policy science, technology and management, that is PhD only that we have for technology and management, economics, science and engineering, information science and engineering, and life sciences. So these are the programs that are taught at the graduate and PhD level. So I will request you, if you want to take a photo of this QR code to get the complete brochure for our graduate school, or take it from the chat column. It's also mentioned there. Yeah. And the email ID as well. So, just to quickly share about the process, how to apply for the undergraduate program. It's an online application. So no Japanese proficiency is required for admission, and there are multiple application periods. So it's very simple. Download the application handbook, create your TAIO account. That is for undergraduate level. For postgraduate, you will have to send, email to us with all your information, and we will connect you with the department, first with a graduate school, and then the graduate school will help you connect with the professor. But for the undergraduate, I'll share again, it's download the application handbook, create your TAIO account, upload the documents, and pay the application fee. And we have multiple application period that I've already shared, especially for students for April and September. You can see for September application, we have application in October, December, and February. While you want to sign up for your information, when you sign up, you get information by email. So, then you don't miss out on any application deadline. So to tell you very briefly about the tuition fee, it is very, very affordable, with fees starting from about 8 lakh rupees when I talk about our policy science program, to 15 lakhs for our liberal arts program. That's a dual degree program that I've already shared. Living expense for about 8 to 9 lakhs per year. We have a 20%, 50%, and 100% tuition reduction that is available. And also post-enrollment, we have many scholarships that are available. And apart from that, there are many living expense scholarships that are available. That information is available on our website. I will suggest go on the website and go through it. If you're unable to find, you can contact me for the same. So for student voices, we have students from undergraduate to graduate to PhD from India and all parts of the world. I will suggest and request you, if you would want to take a photo of this QR code, and you will be able to, hear the voices from around the world. Yeah. So there are many students from India as well. So before I close, I want to share with you, next Saturday, we have a webinar directly from Japan. I have already mentioned that information in the chat column. If you're unable to find, you can contact me directly. My email ID, newdelhi@st.ritsume.ac.jp, and my WhatsApp number is mentioned here. And the web page as well. You can take a photo for the same. I wish you all the best, and I'm looking forward for all your questions in the Q&A column, question answers column, and also you can send it by email to me or on WhatsApp. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Priyanka-san, for your presentation. And students are continuously asking the questions on our Q&A portal. So I would start with that. So one student wants to know about, I think they are applying for the, I think they are a diploma student right now, and they're asking that, is it possible to get university fee reduction program? And is fee reduction program only for 3 years, or can it be given to many international students? Additionally, they also want to know that is the program a research-based program which is conducted in Ritsumeikan University or not? So, yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Sakshi. I understand the student is asking for ISSC program. So, just to, thank you for the question. So what I can mention is, yes, you can apply, and 100% 50% and the 20% tuition reduction is available. It, the first year you get it while you apply to the university. So second year would be depending upon your performance in your first year. So let's say if you get like a 20% tuition reduction and if you are the top performer in the class, you can increase it to 100% in the second year. And same applies if you are a 50% student, you can increase it to 100%. But if you have got 100% tuition reduction, and yes, the performance is very, very important to again able to get that 100% tuition reduction in the second year. Yeah, so that is available for all international students. So please do apply. And once you apply, the documents are very, very simple. What I can mention, the essays are very, very important for us. So I will request you to really not copy the essays from the internet and, work on the essays. And the essays are important, and you'll be submitting your letter of recommendation will be submitted by your school. Your English, so your IELTS and TOEFL would be important when you will be applying for a liberal arts program. For all other program, you can submit a letter from the school, and we will be fine with the letter from the school stating that you have studied in English throughout, and also your class 11th, 12th, and the predicted scores. Yeah. So these are the very simple documents that we will be needing to apply to Ritsumeikan University. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Priyanka-san. One more question is that how much do you expect for 100% scholarship? So what should they focus on basically? What should they keep on their mind for the 100% scholarship?
So when I talk about all the program, so we look at the documents. So all the documents are very, very important. And I have just mentioned the essays are very important. And also, apart from our ISSC program, that is our engineering program. Our engineering program, we don't have interview. So the application would be very, very important. But for all other programs, we do have interview. So, the interview would be important for all other programs. So I will say it would be very, very, each and everything is very, very important. So I will say do your best in your application, in your essays, and also if you're applying for the program, apart from the engineering, do your best in your interview. And it will be completely based on that. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. One last question I would like to take here. So, are there scholarships available for students currently doing their high school in Japan? Not on student visa, but on a resident visa. So would you recommend anything for that?
So this scholarship is purely for international student. If you're applying for a visa that says it's a student visa, and if you are an international student, so you can just send me the status. If you are a Japanese PR, you will not be able to. Unfortunately, you're not eligible for this international student scholarship. But if you are applying as a student visa from an international country, you are eligible for the scholarship. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Priyanka-san. That was quite informative. Thanks a lot. And I would like, and you have already left your contact details. So I would request all the students to please, if you have any questions regarding Ritsumeikan University, you could contact Ms. Priyanka directly. So thank you so much, Priyanka-san.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. So can we have the agenda slide, please? So this marks the end of the webinar. So before closing the webinar, I would like to share an important news update with all the students, and kindly note it somewhere that recently Prime Minister Fumio Kishida pledged to increase the number of international students in Japan to 4 lakh. And the reason because Japanese government aims to retain overseas students to address the domestic shortage. So kindly be aware that there are plenty of scholarship opportunities, studies opportunities in English in Japan. And I think with this shortage which Japan is facing right now, I think we could literally fit into this particular environment if we kind of adapt ourselves. So with this, I would like to end this webinar. Kindly have a note of this QR code, because we will be having our future webinars as well. So the recordings of these webinars are conducted, which is conducted earlier, uploaded to Tokyo India office, and the link is also shared in the chat box. So for more information about these Japanese universities, please join us in our upcoming webinars, and kindly take a note of the QR code. And once again, thank you so much to all the panelists for attending the webinar, as well as all our audiences. And we hope to see you in the upcoming webinars. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.